Hi, welcome to another video. I am going to say a few things about myself, um, a few things about my spirituality, and a few little funny songs that I've learned. Now, for the funny songs, these are really silly, really stupid songs that are not very deep or profound, but they're hilarious in my opinion. I once heard this song that sings, "When the dog died, we ate hot dogs. When the cat died, we ate catnip tea. But when Granny died, we left, 'cause we wouldn't eat spare ribs." And then there's this Cuban song that translated from Spanish into English is all just about nothing but a roasted turkey. It's like, a roasted turkey, a roasted turkey. And then there's this line that says, "Save a little piece for the wolf." Then there's this Chinese song that I've heard about that all it is translated into English. It's just about traveling from China to the United States or to Japan just to eat sushi. Of course, a lot of people find these songs really annoying or juvenile, but I can't stop laughing at these. These are so funny. And that brings me to a few facts about myself. Even though I have a good sense of humor, I actually very rarely laugh out loud, as you can see. Rather, I tend to laugh the way a lot of non-human animals laugh. Now, in spite of some scientists thinking humans are special for both laughing and crying, that's not true in either case. It has been proven that non-human animals do cry tears, and that non-human animals do laugh. Only a few non-human animals um, laugh vocally. Hyenas, of course, do, as do rats. Um, Dogs and elephants sometimes do, but dogs will often also smile and pant while not actually laughing, making any sound. And that's kind of how I do it, usually. It's how a lot of animals laugh. So that's how I tend to show when I think something is funny. Then, what else? As I had said from the recap from my first video, I told you somewhat about my Jewish beliefs and that how I saw An American Tail, the first movie I ever saw in a movie theater. I still do, like I said in that video, the last video, I do believe it was a sign from God that I am both a human-animal hybrid soul and a Jew. So, how I usually see the Jewish God is usually, I see him as either the sun in the sky or as a great lion. Either like Lord Frith in Watership Down, the Lord Sun who guided the rabbits, and or like a Judaic version of Aslan from Narnia. So, what else? I do believe in a goddess because the early Jews did believe in a goddess, and a lot of the more earth-based Jews still do. I don't always focus on her as much as I focus on Adonai, the male god. This is just a preference of mine. Some people might find that sexist, but hey, I'm a cisgender woman, so it's just how I feel. However, there are times when I do feel close to the Jewish goddess, and while I usually feel closer to the male god, there are times when I feel closer to the Jewish goddess, who is alternately called Asherah and Shekinah. She was known as Asherah before the destruction of the first temple, and then as Shekinah before the destruction of the second temple, if my facts on history that I read are right. So, I tend to see the Jewish goddess most often as a lioness, a female rabbit, or a doe, as female rabbits are called, a white wolf similar to a Nayu from Balto, or a white tiger. So, what else? This is a body paint that I'm wearing. This is not meant to be pro. I just painted this for going out in, but it is extremely amateurish, tiger stripes. Like I said, this is not professional level. It's not meant to be. It's just for wearing when I'm out on hikes and stuff. But I do plan on showing a lot more professional body painting and making most of my body painting pro, especially if I'm going to be displaying it or showing it, or sharing it if I can create like a business out of my art, which I am hoping to do sometime. So, let me see what else. I've said this before in my very first video that the type of Judaism I practice does not have any strict religious laws, and that's true. But a lot of my Jewish friends neither follow those either. It's usually the very strict Jews who follow that, and you have a lot of Jewish people who don't even practice Judaism, who either practice another religion or no religion at all, and they often don't follow those laws either. So it really varies. It's almost a stereotype in itself to say that all Jewish people are kosher, which is what a lot of non-Jewish people actually think. But in reality, a lot of the not so observant Jews do not, and also a lot of Jewish people who practice Judaism but who are very liberal about it don't either. I love pork spare ribs, and I love clams and lobster. I'm not going to lie. So I know how to eat. There's knowledge about how to eat it safely. So although not, there's a big debate as to where the kosher laws come from, but I don't care. I like food that isn't kosher. If food is not kosher, but I like it, I eat it. So, but there's also a lot of kosher food that I love. Basically, if I eat something, it's because I enjoy it. I either like something or I don't. So that brings me to something else. I'm sometimes kind of a picky eater with food, and that I do tend to eat a low-carb diet, although I do like carbs and I like sweets on occasion. What I don't care for, I do not like strong herbs or spices. I hate most condiments, and most salad dressing I can't stand. I do eat vegetables, but I tend to like them lightly cooked or roasted, not in a salad. Also, I don't like tofu or vegetarian protein like meat substitutes. So a lot of vegan food that is like strong herbs and spices, which is so popular at some events that I go to, I stay away from it. In fact, I either have to bring my own food or get food at a place somewhere else around the event. So, also tomato sauce, I'm extremely picky about what kind of tomato sauce I like. With pizza, I either love it or I hate it. I love it if it's good quality brick oven pizza with the type of tomato sauce Italians actually use in Italy. But the kind of tomato sauce that you find in a jar, even if it's organic at in the United States, I think it tastes like crap. No offense, but that's my opinion. I'm not saying anybody else can't have it, but I don't. So, for what else? So, sorry, I can't think of anything right now. I have been to the first two Anthro New Englands, and I do plan on going to the third. In a year and a half, I do plan to move. I'm hoping I can move to central Massachusetts, to the rural farming community there, into the area with it's a lot in the country where there are farm animals. If that's the case, I might learn how to drive. I don't know how to drive yet, but you know, I might. I'm not in a hurry to learn right now. If I don't learn how to drive right away if I move out to the country in a year and a half and I don't learn how to drive right away, I might go to Fur Exoticon instead in Springfield. And of course, a lot of the Massachusetts, New England furry and therian events in Worcester and Auburn. I'd definitely go there since I'd be right there. So, what else? I do not own a fursuit, and I would not want to unless I was rich and had sufficient money to, wear it when I wanted. Because I cannot stand excessive heat. I'm picky with my clothes as well as with my food. As I've said before, I only wear tank tops and shorts or sleeveless dresses because unless, of course, if it's in the winter, I'll wear a coat and I'll wear long pants, but when I'm indoors, I'll take the coat off and there'll be a tank top under my coat because I have better tolerance to heat to cold than most people. I don't feel as cold as most people do, and a shirt with sleeves is too hot for me, so a fursuit in a summer convention or anywhere when it's not the dead of winter would be way too hot for me. The only time I'd get a fursuit is if I could wear it enough during the winter, but even in the winter, cons are heated. So that's why I don't wear a fursuit. But I always wear a tail. This is my lion tail. Usually the tail that I wear is a lion tail. I also have a dragon tail and a few fox tails that I sometimes wear, but the lion tail is the one I mainly wear. So, I have a lot of books. I have a huge bookshelf full of books, and then I have a smaller bookshelf full of books I like to read. Most of the books are about stuff that I'm interested in. However, some subjects I really don't care about, and I don't care what some people think about critical thinking. You have to read this. I just don't care about certain subjects, and I think that that's fine because not everybody can, be an expert in everything. So, I think that's it for now. Good evening, everyone who's in Massachusetts, because in Eastern Standard Time it's evening.